Ian,
Yes.
it's been an interesting week in the world of crowdfunding for controllers. There's two we're going to talk about real quick. We're going to bundle this. This is a bundle topic. The first one is the All Controller for PC. It's a Kickstarter. It's already well funded. It's from Digital Depth Inc. It's got 1,500 backers. It just went up while I'm talking about it. 30 days to go. It's a USB controller that touts playing any game in the universe. And it has, it looks like your typical, 70th generation video game controllers that we're in. You got your crosshair. You got 4 triggers. You got 4 face buttons.
Also you got
2 analogs in the front.
You got triggers on the back too.
Triggers on the back too. And what's interesting about this, which I think is what the draw is, because there's been a ton of similar style controllers you can get for the PC.
It's got an LCD panel on the front.
Sure.
And what I think is interesting about it is it allows you to set up customizable profiles for different games. What's interesting is that it has its own internal software for setting up these profiles.
And for customizing.
For me, this is interesting because as a PC gamer who plays a lot of older titles or more obscure titles like Japanese shoot 'em ups or things like that, or point and click adventures, I want to be able to use a controller, and using something like Joy2Key to constantly,
which is a software program.
Joy2Key is a free software
that
program
maps keyboard keys to your USB controller.
Right, and you can map mouse to joysticks and stuff like that. It's kind of a pain in the ass to use. The interface on this, at least as the video shows, looks very intuitive, and I like that aspect of it. And I don't think the price point is too bad.
The early bird one, which is all gone, for the the wired one is 55 Canadian, which is 44 US for the wired one, and then for the wireless, it's a little bit pricier. It's 64. It's about $20 more for the wireless Bluetooth one. It's USB wireless, and Bluetooth drivers, and okay. So Bluetooth.
If you compare that to modern console controllers, that's not bad.
It's in the ballpark.
And it does have some console support. So I think this is very interesting for me because a lot of, if I use like a, like a generic PC controller, all of a sudden I might switch from playing something that naturally, fits my controller. I might switch to a shooter where all of a sudden, nothing is working right. It's not recognizing it.
Two other pieces that are interesting. The built-in has supposedly a built-in keyboard mouse driver. Which means that I'd be able to play freaking Warcraft 2 using this controller.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's pretty impressive.
That's what I'm kind of getting at. I could also use it to play like a point and click adventure.
And then you can then easily inside map the keys to the controller. If you're doing like a point and click adventure or a first person shooter, you can then do that. I think that's what this really comes down to me, is that they're taking ideas that are out there and combining them. So yeah, you can create macros and stuff with a lot of joysticks that you can buy right now, but you have to use the software.
Right.
That's either included, that could be wonky, who knows, or download your own. Stuff like this, like adjusting the dead zone and the joystick sensitivity. This isn't new stuff, but having it built into the joystick LCD just makes it probably a hell of a lot easier to get up and going.
Right, because you don't need outside software. Yeah. It's all internal. It's updatable.
I think even the trigger sensitivity you can even do.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
This is all very cool to me. My two major concerns are this. One related to the controller, one related to the Kickstarter. And like I said, I am fairly interested in this controller. But one is, obviously, this being a new controller from a new company, I need to know what kind of quality we're going to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And two, while the stretch goals are cute, and stretch goals are always a bonus,
mm-hmm.
I don't feel like the stretch goals necessarily meet what is required monetarily for what you're getting out of them.
Are you saying you don't need an extra 700,000 to increase the memory on the controllers, Ian?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm saying.
It's cute. Yeah, a bigger battery at $2.5 million.
I mean,
So,
I realize that these are bonus things,
Yeah.
but most stretch goals tend to reflect the amount of money necessary for
or at least,
those things.
or being the sort of like the realm of possibility where it's like, okay, this is obviously
Right.
they want more incentive to do it, but that just seems like they could have lowered those to something that might have been to me a little more effective. But who knows? It's already off to a great start.
It is. So
It's, I mean, it might hit 1 million. Who the hell knows? You know, we're giving free advertising now. So who knows?
I'm actually interested in this, but that's my big concern is I don't think this company has released any other controller before, so it's going to be the build quality that really that I want to see. I think the one stretch goal that really would require some money.
Play any game in the universe, it says on their site. Okay, I'm not sure about that. Not sure I can play Mahjong on the table right now. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if it has telekinesis.
Okay,
abilities.
obviously that's hyperbole, but
Yeah.
honestly, if you can map keyboard and mouse controls to it,
That'll get you far.
it can get you very far. But yeah,
It says Wii and Switch coming soon. Think you'll be able to get this on the Switch?
I do have concerns about that just because there are ways for look, I think people have to be a little pragmatic about this, maybe a little skeptical. You have to look at this as a PC controller. You cannot look at this in the modern console world as a console controller. You can't. Because there's always ways to block third-party controllers.
Oh yeah.
So
If they really don't want, if Nintendo doesn't want them getting in there and screwing around with their stuff,
then they can block it.
yeah, they can.
As a
figure it out.
PC controller, I'm interested.
Go into it as that, and then if other stuff is more compatible,
Yep.
then bonus, right?
Go into this looking as a very interesting PC controller. Great. Don't go into this looking at it as a well, unfortunately, don't go into it looking at it as an all controller. Go into it looking at it as a PC controller with a lot of functionality.